Welcome to the Upshot, Multi-World Disc Golf's podcast about the latest in the disc golf world. I am the editor, Charlie Eisenhood. Joining me is Josh Mansfield on this Wednesday, January 14th. Josh, the 49ers, the Broncos continue in the playoffs. The Broncos didn't have to do anything this weekend, but the 49ers beat the Eagles, and it's a beautiful thing.
I picked them. We've got a playoff pick'em pool, and I was the only one who picked the Niners.
I absolutely love it. And so you're way ahead in your pool already.
Yes, because the points are based on seeding as well.
You take the Hawks, though, this week?
Yeah, I'm taking the Hawks this week.
I don't blame you.
I'm tempted because every round for our league, every round of the playoffs doubles the points value. So I'm tempted just to bet the under or the lower seed in every contest because it's like 6 or 7 seeds across the board. So
well, I hope you watch the games this weekend because it was incredible football.
Watched every game. Yeah,
incredible football.
It was great.
My favorite tweet from this week was Eagles offense has 8 All-Pros and can't score on a defense composed of 4 Drewskis, 3 Best Buy employees, 2 pharmacists, a Target cashier, and Domador Lenore.
Well, the running joke of the Niners that I still appreciate, Christian McCaffrey found some like black magic over in Germany, and every time he would be injured, another Niner has to be sacrificed. So
I feel like you texted me that like 3 times this season. It's been so brutal. It's been so brutal. But Fred
Kittle,
Warner
man?
might come back this week.
Oh.
All right, enough football. Sorry, but it's been a crazy NFL season.
It has.
And now we get into the heavy hitting playoff. Okay, much to do. We're going to get some 30-second rule. We've got a bunch of player moves and some teasers and a little bit of other news to get to as well. But first, we're going to be doing some predictions for 2026. But we're not just going to do your sort of boring stock, this is what I actually think is going to happen. We're going to do 90, 50, 10. So what do you have 90% confidence in happening, 50% confidence in happening, and 10% confidence in happening? And we will look ahead to the rest of the year and maybe beyond. Josh, I will let you go first. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'll start easy. There's an announcement that's going to come out this month. It is going to include our 2028 major bids.
Yes. Is that coming this month?
I think so. Because
okay.
The deadline was October, and it says just roughly January is the announcement. Now, again, this is on the bid materials. They may push it if they need to, but I'm anticipating it comes this month. Here's my 90% confidence. I think that we are going to get a new world's location, meaning not one we've seen in the past, I'll say like 15 years, maybe even longer. That is going to be comprised or run by a new world's TD and new world staff. I cannot see a world where, I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I just think it's very unlikely that Heinold gets 2028 Worlds. It's possible, but it would seem like a lot if, and again, I know the conversation around Heinold and running Worlds and the lack of TDs who will do it. But to go Heinold, UC, Heinold, Spring, Heinold, Europe would be a lot. So I just think like they have, I suspect they have been making a conscientious effort to, if there were not good bids, recruit a bid that they could prep for 2028 Worlds.
I like it. I think 90% feels like a little strong in terms of the level of confidence that you have, but I do think it's more than 50%.
I think it's more than 50. Yeah.
I'd be surprised, especially given the like heat that it feels like Heinold has taken a little bit. And, we just had a board member get elected largely on the back of criticizing some of the, perceived self-dealing on the board. I really tend to believe that that's not the issue. Like
I agree.
It just turns out that Nate Heinold is good at running tournaments, and he also happens to be the board of directors president, and like he's not making votes in these decisions. And it's hard to argue that like Virginia Worlds didn't go well,
right?
So like I understand that we need to get to a point, I think very soon, where you're just not allowed to be on the board if you are also like running the majors.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the sport is small enough right now that like that kind of thing has sort of necessarily been the case, but we really need to separate the sport leadership from like the profit side. And like already, you would never have a manufacturing president on the board of directors. Tournament directing is, at least at the high end, becoming a big enough piece of business that I think you just can't have it be connected anymore.
And just for sheer optics, right?
Right.
Like
right.
I really like, don't.
Hard to argue that there's not some influence from Nate on the rest of the decision making at the PDGA and on the board.
Yes.
Even if he's recusing himself from votes and not participating in discussions, like, I think I agree with you. It's not going to be Heinold. Whether it's going to be a new place, I don't know. But it would be interesting to see if that would happen. I feel like we need a Texas Worlds.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? Is it just too hot in Texas in the middle of the summer? Maybe it is.
Maybe. I mean, if
Texas is the number one disc golf state.
If World Cup's going to do it, why not disc golf, right?
I mean, the problem is like Texas swing right now is normally what, like March. So do you try to hold Worlds in March? No, right. That's not right to do it that early.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I agree. Who knows? We don't know what the bids are. So like,
right.
Without knowing the bids and the quality of the bids, it's almost impossible to make any sort of like actual guess. But I'm curious. Wait, Iowa? No, they want later, right?
They wanted. I thought they wanted.
They wanted 28.
29. 29. Yeah.
But they're not going to get 29. Would they go a year, 2 years early? Maybe not.
Maybe.
Not if you're thinking about it. Well, I guess we'll just see. All right, I like it, Josh. I'll give you one of my 90s.
Okay.
I only have 190.
Okay.
At least for the moment. I could give you a lame one, like Gannon will be number one.
I think it's too
90%. 2026 will mark the bottom in PDGA membership numbers forever.
Oh.
So like we are going to, when I say that,
yeah,
like off of the highs, right?
Right.
I'm not saying
we're
going
saying.
back to 10 members.
Yeah. We'll never regress to this point again.
Correct. We will climb out of the bottom that comes in 2026, and we will not reach these lows again.
For me, that's more of like a 50-50. I don't think, though, that's a nature of the industry. I think it's just a nature of the PGA needs to do a better job convincing.
I think that's happening.
Maybe.
They just announced.
Do you think like the
15% off manufacturer disc sales, like a new manufacturer each month, you get 50% off coupon. Now, is this going to individually get anybody to sign up? No, of course not.
No.
Is this a tangible benefit if you're someone who wants to buy discs from a particular company?
Yes.
I think so.
Yep.
I think like you add up the small things and it becomes a little bit easier to say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. The DGN deal, I think, genuinely gets some people to sign up exclusively for the DGN discount.
It does. Yeah.
Like I think for Europeans, it's actually cheaper to get a PDGA membership if you want to watch DGN.
Interesting.
So it's like cheaper to get PDGA and to get the discount versus just getting DGN straight up.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that, like a deal like that, is obviously a pretty significant
right
benefit.
Yeah.
And then they got the UDIS discount now, and like these little things add up.
They do.
I think it's mostly just a bigger story of like new players keep joining. We've washed out a lot of the people who are going to quit. And this is the year that we see the bottom and things start to improve from here. And look at the momentum right now. The Pro Tour just got a massive sponsor. The PDGA has like stabilized its leadership. And they are working on new things. I was just looking at the board minutes. They got something called Fans First, I want to say it's called.
Okay.
Let's see. Cross-departmental collaboration is thriving. Supported by regular meetings and a shared reading of Fans First, which is inspiring fresh thinking around member engagement and event experience. So I don't exactly know what Fans First is all about, but
I don't either.
I think they're clearly thinking about how do we improve the experience of being a PDGA member and the value. And they've, I think it's obvious that they put a lot of energy into that this off season.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see if it's. I think we're still a year removed. I think the early numbers that we talked about from January 1 signups suggest to me that like it doesn't feel like we are. I would expect we have a year that like kind of like slowly bottoms.
That's I think where we're at.
I think we're just still down. I think 2020.
To be clear, I am saying we will be down in 2026.
Right.
Compared to last year.
I'm saying the year that's going to be the bottom is going to be down 2 to 5%, not 10%.
I get your point.
I think we're going to be down 10 again this year.
All right. Well, maybe I'm too confident, but I'm feeling bullish.
I love it.
Everyone is so bearish right now.
It's true
that it's time to flip.
All right. Okay.
I'm buying PDGA stock.
I think you're a year early, but it's not a bad time. So,
all right, what's next?
All right, I'm going to give you one of my 50s. This is probably not a 50. But I asked myself, if somebody gave me odds at 10%, I'd probably take them. And so that number doesn't quite feel right. And so then I was like, what about 25%? I was like, probably closer to that. And I was like, well, I'm rounding up. So I'm putting it at 50. I'm going to be a little bullish here. I think Paul McBeth gets a major this year.
50-50.
50-50. I really do. Paul was in position to do so a couple of times last year. He has only been improving over the past, like his trajectory is up. I think he continues to come into form and you ready? Like here's the big one, Charlie. He gets New London Tech for Champions Cup, and he gets D-Glow for Worlds. And you pair that with Winthrop, like give that, like give me. The only thing that could be better is if European Open was in Finland. But like other than that, like give me a better Paul McBeth slate of tournaments for him to win a major.
I hear you.
So, given all the circumstances involved, I'm going to be bullish and put it in 50 instead of a 10.
Okay, so let's take a look at McBeth at D-Glow over the years. He's won it twice.
Okay.
2018, 2019. Since then, he's been top 10 each of the next 5 years. Well, 4 of the next 5 years. He was 12th in 2024.
Okay.
But we're talking 9th, 10th, 7th, 6th.
Sure. I
think it's a little too bold at 50% because I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Paul McBeth had he 2 years ago he bottomed.
Yeah. Yes.
And then he's been accelerating back up, but I don't think he can keep climbing much further back higher than what we saw from him this year. That's the problem. I mean, fundamentally the age curve is working against him.
That is true.
So I think it's tough to see it happening. That said, the man was not that far off this year.
No.
He was 20th, 4th, 8th, 2nd at the majors. So
and he was good at Tallinn, which is where European Open is.
Yeah. I think it's not outlandish that he could win. I just think 50% feels
probably
a
a little
strong.
high. Probably a little high. I'm more bullish than 10% though. That is what I want to communicate.
Fair enough.
I think it is more than 10.
All right. 10%.
Okay.
House of Discs sells off a brand.
You know what the most bullish part about that is? That they find someone to buy one of them.
Everybody's got a price.
It's true.
I don't necessarily want to speculate on which brand it would be.
Dynamic discs.
Maybe.
I mean,
but I don't know that one really might not have a buyer.
That's my point. Like, because here's the thing. Thinking about the brands, right? You have your little brand like Castoplast. No real point in selling that. I don't really see a point in
especially since that was like their bright spot last year.
Yeah, right. So I don't really see a point in selling that. Latitude 64 cannot sell. Like that's the central one.
Yeah, that like the CEO is the founder.
Right. Like, that one's not
probably
going
not happening.
Discmania is your best brand in terms of performance. So
it's also maybe their most expensive.
Maybe. Could you imagine if UC like pulls a Barstool Sports, sells his company at high, and then buys it for pennies on the dollar back from him?
I'll buy it back for $1.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think what's more likely is that they consolidate. Like, we're done making West Side. Or
they collapse. Just dump a brand. Yeah. I mean, maybe include that in my 10%.
Okay, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Sell / sunset.
Yeah.
I do wonder whether it's worth like all of these. It feels like a lot of effort to manage the marketing and everything that is required for all of these different brands.
You know how
like, is anyone going to cry if you're like, hey, we're closing the door on West Side Discs, but we're keeping the top 5 molds and we're rolling them into whatever other brand?
Latitude 64 and like
nobody's like, oh no, I can't get my my harp anymore or whatever.
No, it's just no. It's just now the Latitude 64 harp, and you're done. Like. Yeah, I don't think anyone will care. I think that
people even talk about the harp anymore. I feel like 5 years ago, people were obsessed with the harp. I'm sure plenty of people still throw a harp, but
sure.
I feel like I do not hear about them at all anymore. To me, it shows you how important marketing is and like where like Ricky threw the hell out of a harp when he was Latitude sponsored, right? And so people were like all about the harp. And now nobody talks about the harp. It's a good disc.
It is a good disc.
But there's a lot of good overstable approach discs.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Okay. What's next, Josh?
Yeah. I'll give you my 90. We're getting the new pace of play rules with the timeouts.
Yeah.
My 90% prediction is that new pace of play rules do nothing to solve pace of play issues. This is a little bit unfair, and it's like I'll be honest, this is me like stepping back onto my soapbox. It probably is going to help with time violation issues, right? It's at the very least, and maybe that's even a little too probably might be even too strong. It's going to help with Ganon's time violation issues, which let's be real, that's a big like driver for this rule change. The problem is, I think the real question needs to be about place of play of groups generally, and I think that this solution is going to do nothing to solve that. And they are going to revisit like pace of play and like timing violations again within the next 3 years because they have not solved pace of play.
I'm not sure I can totally argue with this because I do think the problems aren't going to go away until enforcement becomes the focus rather than just making the rules different.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because the rules being different didn't help. Like we said, 30 seconds now. And then that didn't actually, that in some ways may have made things worse. Like nobody was calling it.
Right.
So then what does it matter what the rules are? But here's why I think this could work. I think that players are going to feel empowered to tell a player, you need to use a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, it's making them do like that, use something that they have limited resources for, but it's not immediately assigning a penalty or, creating like as much friction.
You're right.
So I think that we're going to see people say, hey, you need to use a timeout. But the question is, what happens when they've used both of their timeouts? Will players then be like, we're stroking you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's that. I feel like as much as players seem to claim they are going to start doing a better job, there's been zero evidence that they will actually do a better job. Because at the end of the day, players think to themselves, I don't need the drama.
Yep.
I'm playing myself against the course. I'm just going to eat it right now. Yep. And until we have consistent marshals on the top, at least 6 cards or something, we're just not going to see this fundamentally change, I don't think.
I think that's why pace of play has to be a group focus first and then move to individual.
Because then other players are incentivized to call Cupcake, who, is suffering from a
you literally say like
debilitating disease.
You say you set check marks. Like you have to be this far along. And then if you're not, a marshal gets assigned to your card, and then they determine if it's a group violation or an individual. Yeah.
I mean, the problem is, my problem with that is that it really is specific players who tend to be the problem. But I think it's like, hey, you need to make the call on this person.
Exactly.
Like, if they are still causing the problem, even though they're being like stroked by their card mates, then you need to have a bigger conversation about whether they should be allowed to play.
Right.
To be honest.
Right. It becomes a courtesy issue that the PDGA and DGPT can become involved in. But if you as a group are not going to enforce timing, then you are going to suffer the consequences for it as well. It's the only way it'll ever change.
All right, here's my 50-50, Josh.
Okay.
Currently, in the PDGA World Rankings, Kristen Latt is still number 1 in the world. Now, almost certainly, with another year of not playing, she's going to drop from that spot.
Yep.
That is not my prediction.
I was going to say, that's a real hot take over there, sir.
The current number 2 is Silva Saarinen. Missy Gannon is number 3. Holland Handley is number 4.
Yep.
Evelina is number 5.
Okay.
My 50-50 is that we have an American at the top of the 2026 PDGA World Rankings at the end of the season. I'm going to be specific. I'll say it's going to be Missy or Holland.
Well,
that's not really saying anything different than I just said, though.
I guess technically, if you now get Own, because Own and Evelina are tied, literally exactly tied in points.
Yeah, I do get Own.
So you get Own if you say American.
I'm not doubting the dog. Hence my
don't do it. I think that there are two things going for Silva here. Number one is that Silva is incredibly consistent. And number two, she plays European events, A tiers and the Euro Tour events that no one else competes on that count towards these world rankings. And so it's funny because in my mind, it should be Missy or Holland anyway. But officially, you have kind of systematic things that I think are going to make that more difficult. And so I think 50-50 is a perfect spot to put that. Do you agree with me that Missy or Holland is, like, in your mind, number one?
It's really close. I don't think it's very easy to. I mean, just saying with the Player of the Year conversation from 2025, sure. I do not think it's easy to pick the player who had the best year or is currently the best player. I think it's not at all obvious.
I don't think it's easy. To me, though, with Kristen stepping down, whoever the best player was last season, in my mind, is the world number one right now. And to me, that was Missy. So Now, obvious, easy, no, but that's just like in my mind. I have Missy at the top of that spot already. So
I get your point. I mean, currently Silva has about a 10-point lead on Missy. And, these rankings probably don't take into account specifically strength of field. I can't remember exactly what the rules are, but that, majors are number 1, Elite Series number 2, A Series number 3. So like there's some, I don't exactly know the flow of the points, but it's not crazy to me that Silva is number 1, or, I guess we could call her de facto number 1 right now with Kristen stepping away.
Right.
But
do you remember when Katrina Allen,
all of the players you just named, by the way, including Owen, right at 6, they're all reasonable. They're all within a 20 points of each other in the rankings.
And
then it's a big drop down to Ella Hansen and Henna Blomroos, who are, so Owen is at 75.7 along with Evelina, and then Ella is at 49.9.
Yeah, just chasm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like it. I'll give you my last 50-50. I think that they are going to collapse the Circle 1, Circle 2 distinction, or some mechanism to remove step putting. I think jump putting inside of Circle 2 goes away.
Interesting. Okay, so you say that's happening during the 2026 season?
I'm saying they're going to make they do the rules update process. Yeah. I think that is going to come out in the 2026 rules update process for 2027.
Okay, will this be a pro only rule change, or will this be a global PDGA rule change?
I have no position on that. I think it could go either way.
Okay.
But
I think I will give you credit regardless of the
I appreciate that. If it is a pro only change though, I think we need to have a serious conversation about the Pro Tour just publishing their own rule set that is approved by the PDGA for sanctioning purposes.
I mean, isn't that already happening? Like isn't this new timeout rule
I think so.
Pro Tour only addendum essentially?
I think if we add another one as substantial as this, let's scratch it, tear it up, start out, just for everything that is good, please don't just amend 100 rules and try and piece this together. If we're going to do it, if we're going to decide that pros need a different rule set, let's just sit down and do it all at once. Let's look at pace of play. Let's look at timing. Let's look at marshals. Let's look at video review evidence. Let's look at you name it. Let's just do it all, and let's get the DGPTA rule set.
Yeah, it's let me ask you this: would you like this change?
Honestly, no. I wouldn't be upset about it. I think that it is a solution that is not fixing an underlying problem, which is course designers need to do a better job of making greens a technical element of disc golf, and we don't do that enough. And so people are becoming much better putters, and so a wide open basket with no obstacles or challenge as to where you place it on the green is becoming boring. And our solution to that is, let's just get rid of step putting. It's no, just put it where you have to land in specific spots, or you have to shape your step putt around a tree, or there are ways to make greens more technical. And I don't think, I think this is a Band-Aid solution to a deeper problem putting.
I personally think that you are right about the need to improve greens and the challenge on them. But I also think it would be a good change to bar jump putting inside C2.
Do you think for, again, rules enforcement reasons?
No, I mean,
okay.
I actually think it's when you have a spot at 34 feet where players would prefer to jump than to putt from a stance.
Yep, not marking their lie.
Correct.
Yeah.
You have a problem.
Yeah.
It should be harder to putt as you get further away from the basket.
Right.
But the fact that pros choose to jump putt instead of having a lie behind their disc tells you that it's actually easier to putt for many pros from 34 feet than from 32 feet.
I find that.
And that means that you have this weird sort of like step function problem, and you need to change that. Like, I just think the general counter argument is, well, how will anybody know where the edge of C2 is? Well, to me, I don't care about your C tier having like a clearly defined C2 edge.
Right.
Like, but the Pro Tour, they already mark that, so it's fine. And so I think it's just like, pros need to just get better at putting. And when I watch Gannon Buhr putt from a standstill at 100 feet, I don't really feel like the pros can't handle this change. Yeah. And like, is it going to decrease putting percentages a little bit from C2? Of course it is. Oh, but like, I am in favor of making it harder as you get further away. So I think I agree with your take about it being like, it shouldn't be the only fix for disc golf's putting relative ease, but I think it would be a big step forward.
You're a bigger fan of the rule itself.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like I think this rule has made sense for like 3 years, and
I agree.
Players maybe don't like the concept because it make them worse, but it's a global change. Get better. Skill issue.
It's a global change in Gannon Buhr's favor.
Well, get good.
Yeah, that's right. Oh. All right. Got one more?
I do.
Okay.
It's somewhat similar category.
Okay.
10%.
Okay.
Pro Tour gets an official basket announced.
Right. During their testing phase. Yeah.
I honestly think maybe even like the approved list feels like it might be a 10%. I mean, this has been like the biggest clown show of the Pro Tour over the last 3 years. Oh, we're gonna do some official basket testing, and it's like 10 guys out there just like throwing some discs and being like, yeah, I like that basket. It's like zero rigor. But yeah, official I mean, I don't know. This is just a never-ending morass. The sponsorship people are like, we don't want to just pull random baskets out of competition when these companies are paying lots of money to have their basket here.
Okay, let me give you the case of why this will happen. Course design is becoming massively popular. Yeah. It's becoming like a literal industry. There are people who are paid money to come and design courses.
Yes.
Courses, it is continuing to grow, and not just the number of courses, but the rate at which we're putting courses in the ground. And then you have the personal basket market as well. I think that I think a manufacturer could take all the dollars that they spend to be title sponsors, because all of them are multiple title sponsors. I think they could take all their money that they make, they do to be title sponsors, add more of it, and just be like, Pro Tour, here is a just ton of money. We like give us the baskets, and they get the official basket because they recognize that the title sponsorship doesn't actually, in a lot of cases, create that much of an ROI, but baskets actually could.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's unlikely. It's
I
probably
want
not
them
10%.
to do it. I want them to at least get rid of the bad baskets.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if it's actually going to happen.
Those Prodigy baskets, side chains, man. Okay.
You got another one?
I've got one left for you.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
PDGA.
What's the percent?
Oh, this is the 1%er.
The 1%er. Okay.
Yeah, this one doesn't even belong in 10. PDGA drops PDGA Live for UDIS.
Stop.
And UDIS becomes the official scorekeeping app of the PDGA.
Stop. No. Won't happen.
Probably not. But I think, and I hope, and the reason I want it to, but the disc golf world does not run around the PDGA. It runs around UDisc. Casual and competitive players alike depend on that app for course finding, scorekeeping, friendly competitions, leagues, you name it. UDisc has a hand in it, except at the professional level. And I know they went away from it. I think it was a mistake. I think that UDisc could ask for a lot of money, but I also could see a world where PDGA wants to outsource things. And listen, the world runs on UDisc, and the PDGA would be better served if they recognized it and accepted it. There's my 1%.
I mean, I think I would love to see the happy marriage. I would love to see the really pleasant to use interface of UDisc Live paired to PDGA Live come back.
Yep.
But it feels to me like the ship has sailed, and like if it was to come back, it would have to be like literally collaborative. It would need to be UDisc providing essentially like a back end, or like really more the front end, like what we see.
Yes.
And the PDGA providing like the actual management of it.
The PDGA powered by UDisc for the
essentially. Because the problem is that UDisc didn't like having to deal with all of this, and so they were charging very high fees in order to manage this. And they wanted the data. And so the PDGA was like, and the Pro Tour were like, we're out. I just don't see them going back. I think it would be easier for the PDGA to just work on the UX and not worry too much about all the other things. Because I actually think the PDGA has made some really nice positive changes.
I do too.
Like assigning actual distances to putts. Now, are they always accurate? No, obviously not.
No.
But it's still nice to be able to get, when the scorekeeper is good, you get extremely accurate stats, and it's awesome.
But let me offer you a counterpoint here. The tracking the win percentage on UDisc, amazing. Like that is sports engagement. The PDGA is going to build a functional app. I think UDisc could make a legitimate fan-driven, like, you know how it's like any football app when you're like not watching the game but just watching scores. Like, it's got the little field. It shows if it was a pass or a run. It shows what the last play was. Like, UDisc could legitimately build out a professional side that looks like that is designed around fan experience, that I do not think the PDGA is ever going to do. And the only reason this is even on my list for a 1%er is because the UDisc discount came back with PDGA.
The door has been cracked open.
It cracked. It might only be a window, to be honest. It might not even be a door yet. but the window is cracked, and this is my hope. Here is my hope, Charlie, that I get to use UDisc to watch the Pro Tour again.
It is. Every time I have to go back to UDisc Live to look up an old stat, I'm always like, oh man, this is nice.
It's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, if they could merge some of the positive changes, like total tournament stat performance versus just round, because UDisc always only had round.
Yes.
Like, you merge some of the new nice things about PDGA Live with the like user interface and like history of UDisc Live, and it would be really nice for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get there. I don't think we will. I think it's 0%, but I am happy to have your slight sliver of optimism. All right, let us know your predictions. Email us, upshot@ultiworld.com. Give us your 90, your 50, your 10, whatever's on your mind. We're going to take a break. When we come back, 30-second rule to catch up on the news since we talked to you last. It's the Upshot. We'll be right back. The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. And if you thought they were done innovating just because they came out with a brand new Octo design in 2025, well, you're wrong. They're actually changing the bag again in 2026. Introducing the brand new Storm Hood Putter Pocket. It's a built-in rainfly that goes up over the top of your 6 putter capacity putter pocket. And it looks fantastic. It makes it easier to use. You can tuck it away. It's got a nice little carrying case spot to put the pocket lid into the bag. And otherwise, the bag is all of the great new features, the better shoulder straps, the more stable base, all of the great new things that came on the 2025 version. But they're adding this new redesigned putter pocket with the built-in rainfly in case you get caught in the rain and you need to keep those putters dry. So awesome changes from Pound Disc Golf. Check out the Octos right now. You can get your Octo pre-order in next Thursday, January 15th, starting at 12 p.m. Pacific time for the stock versions of the bags. And hey, if you want to save a little money, you can get a 2025 edition for $75 off. So go grab one of those before they sell out. PoundDiscGolf.com. Welcome back to The Upshot. It's time for 30-second rule. Do we have to rename this segment?
No, we just get to use timeouts.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, great. Perfect. Where we have 30 seconds to talk about each topic, and if we go over, it doesn't matter. Josh, what's first on the list today?
Gonna hit you with a couple rapid fire. We have some sponsorship announcements. So, gonna give you 4 of them. Jakub Semerad resigns with Latitude 64. Gavin Babcock resigns with Discmania for 2 years. 2-year deal. Yes, gets a deal. Silas Schultz leaves Discmania. And Colt Montgomery also announces a leave from Discmania.
Yeah, that was inevitable.
It was.
Austin Montgomery, formerly sort of the head of like player sponsorship stuff, and one of the leaders for Discmania, out a few months ago, maybe a year ago now. It's been a while. Obviously, this whole Discmania Colorado, I think it's completely shut down. It was like a lot of bad blood. And so obviously, I think Colton leaving was no surprise, especially considering that, let's be honest, like Colton's on-course performance has not justified his level of
correct. And I actually think that the trend in disc golf generally, given the market right now, is that folks who have gotten sponsorships that probably do not have them justified, but have gotten them for, their relationships inside of the sport, are going to dwindle quickly. I just don't think there's the money for it anymore. So, other reactions, Charlie, to any of these?
No, nothing here really shocks me. I mean, I guess Silas leaving Discmania feels like a modest surprise, but
yeah, he's up and coming, improving. Another company wants to take a swing.
I feel like Silas is someone who outpunches as a sponsored player, outpunches his like sort of performance with being like good at social media.
It's true. But he also is improving in his on-course performance, and Discmania's MPO room is full, and so it makes sense that another company could make me maybe a little bit of a bigger offer. And
Silas did have a pretty good year.
That's what I'm saying. I think another company's making a bet on him and paid a little bit more than Discmania wanted to.
10th at Music City, 14th at Champions Cup, 5th at the Preserve, 7th at Ledgestone. He won a couple A tiers. 7th at D-Glow. It's really not bad.
It's not bad at all. So best of luck to him.
1031 rated.
I always am surprised sometimes at like how I
don't want to use timeout.
No timeout. With this, and we're gonna have to call it timeout because it's still on sponsorship announcements. MVP has this weird cryptic sponsorship announcement thing that they're gonna start trickling releases of these silhouettes over the next. What is it? The 17th? Is that the first one?
I think the 18th. So we'll put it up on the YouTube. So they have a Facebook post from yesterday and it's got 4 silhouettes of players, and it says January 18th, January 19th, January 20th, January 21st. And it says, this is not a teaser. Set your calendars. So I think fairly obvious to me that this is an announcement of 4 new sponsored players by MVP, Josh.
Yep.
I think the internet has already figured them out.
Okay. I think I've seen it, but what does the internet think?
People think different things, of course, but I think that folks over on Reddit have determined the correct 4 players, and this is not inside information. I'm not confirming this because I know something. I'm saying I agree with their take. Aaron Gossage, Katie Alsalu, Silas Schultz, Evan Smith. And if that's true, it's yet another extremely good offseason for MVP. Like, these are, Gossage is the obvious, like, top tier available player right now. But I think those other 3 players are all, like, right in the spot where they're, like, good enough to win tournaments potentially and have fan bases, and I think are just, like, undervalued at the moment. So it just feels like a really smart assuming that's
I will
what
say
is.
The one I don't think is like, which one is not like the others? Evan Smith to me. I think the other 3 make a ton of sense. I don't know.
Are you an Evan Smith hater, Josh? Let me remind you, he's 1037.
I know he is. And you were convinced that he was the next coming of Paul Macbeth last season.
Oh, stop. I did not say that. He is off the highs. He was 1044 rated in the middle of June.
See, like, I don't know. I'm just, bro's got to figure it out and get a win, or I'm just gonna be a doubter. So, because he's not a immensely, like, popular social media figure. He's not like Silas, right? He might have had a better season than Silas. I wouldn't know because I know about Silas.
He earned more money than Silas this year.
Didn't know it. Wouldn't know it.
I mean, come on, like 3rd at Waco, 7th at Music City, 2nd at Discmania Challenge. Now, I understand what you're saying.
Player,
he does need to get a win.
He's got to get a win. He doesn't have the social media presence and, like, the influence without the wins. He's got to start winning.
I mean, people still confuse him with Evan Scott. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you got to find a way to stand out in some way.
I'm going to go try and buy an Evan Smith disc, and I'm going to end up at the wrong company. Like, that's a problem. That's a problem for a sponsored player. All right.
It's not his fault that he has a generic name.
No, it's not his fault, but you got to win then. You got to make people remember your name. That, or he's got to get a nickname. So we need to come up with an Evan Smith nickname.
I think I'm going to call him Evan Scott.
Here's Evan Smith's nickname. It should be Evan Smith Smith.
Evan Smith.
It feels so on brand. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Anyway, I think he's as close as anybody to winning a tournament. I mean, people talk about Aaron Gossage like he's this, he's guaranteed to win. Evan Smith is just as close to winning.
MVP.
Like, I get that Aaron Gossage is probably a better thrower, but it turns out putting matters too, and, like, composure matters too. So I feel like Evan Smith is like, obviously I have been Evan Smith is like a really good option for a sponsor. And I think, if it turns out that it's MVP or wherever he ends up, they're getting a good deal on somebody who could really outperform what it costs to sign
MVP sat down in their war room before the offseason, and they're like, all right, we need to pick who's the next player that could get a win that we could sign now and be ready to sell discs like we did with, like, it just sell discs like crazy when they get the wins. And they're like, couple names popped up, and they're like, great, sign them all. And they're like, wait a minute, what? Because Silas, Goose, Evan, none of them have wins. All of them have been close. They grabbed them all.
Yep. Well, you say that. We do not know that.
Oh, you're right. They
have not grabbed them all.
You're right. Charlie, when have Reddit rumors been wrong? Like,
But it's not even a rumor. Like, this is just people like looking at their
Right.
throwing form and being like, that looks like this player. But I think it's like very reasonable. I mean, all of these players left their sponsors. So they're going to land somewhere. We've not heard any much from Discraft yet. But I think it's a reasonable guess.
I'm not going to.
Considering both form and
Right.
You know, MVP's track record.
I'm not going to lie.
They had to get past the white rims thing. They had to move the narrative forward.
People are freaking out about that. I think people are all a little bit too soft about the looks of their discs. Like, you should see some of these discs in my bag. They look like trash, and they are the best flying discs. Who cares if it looks bad when you use it? I'm just gonna say it though. I'd buy an Evan Smith disc. Like, I would right now. You put that up, I would buy one right now. There you go, MVP. That's what I want. Okay, next news.
And that's why they call him Evan Smith. Okay.
No, there's one more 30-second rule. It is no longer related.
No, there's two more. There's two more.
Okay,
actually.
there's two more. The next one, DGPT has announced 4 more European events as part of the Euro Tour class. They are not DGPT events. They're not a DGPT Elite Series. They are a DGPT Euro Tour. There's one that will happen before the European Open in Tallinn, which is also going to be in Estonia. It'll be in Pärnu, Estonia, at the Pärnu Open. And then after the conclusion of the Heinola Open, which concludes the DGPT Elite stretch in Europe, you will have the Sierra Vori Challenge in Finland. You will have the Moravian Open in the Czech Republic. And then you'll have the Silesia Open in Poland. Is this the first time we've had an event like of this scale in Poland? I think so.
And, you know, interesting, no Norway.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see one added later. It's pretty weird to have a country that's been growing as fast and with the kinds of beautiful courses that Norway has not happening this year.
Didn't what was the big one though? Krokel in Norway? Right? I think so.
Yes. It's in Sigurd, Norway.
Didn't Krokel say they wanted to step away for a year?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that we've had a couple of people stepping away. Because, like, PCS is also not happening this year, right?
And so the best Norway events just aren't happening this year, so they're not putting it in Norway. I agree. I wish there was one, but it's pretty sick. We're getting a Polish event.
I agree.
Oh.
I agree. Now, I think that Pärnu Open, by the way, will probably be pretty well attended because it's the week before European Open.
Hot take. I disagree. I think it's actually going to be terribly attended because everybody's going to be in Tallinn practicing.
But you have to go to Estonia anyway. You might as well play. You still get 3 days to prep a course that you already know.
I don't know. Maybe, but I would imagine most would just go straight to Tallinn.
I guess we'll see.
That would be my preference, but what do I know?
I think we have a very strong field at Pärnu Open.
All right.
You want to bet on it?
How do you measure that? Oh,
vibes.
No, I don't want that bet. I'm not having that argument when that tournament comes around, because what's going to happen is Ricky Wysocki, nobody else is going to sign up for Pärnu, and you're going to go, oh yeah, that's a well attended tournament.
Ridiculous.
Last thing on the 30-second rule, Infinite Discs has published their top putters of 2025 list. Charlie, I think you've got that link.
I do, and we'll put the screenshot up on the YouTube. Yeah. Make sure you like and subscribe over on our YouTube channel, Multi-World Disc Golf, if you haven't already. Number 1, Discraft Zone. Now, whether you want to call approach discs putters or not, I think is a kind of a question. But number 2, the Axiom Pixel. The Pixel was number 1 in 2024. Wow. It's number 2 in 2025. Wow. I mean, they have just been killing it with that thing. Number 3, Gateway Wizard. Number 4, Discraft Luna. Number 5, Infinite Alpaca. Number 6, Axiom Envy. Number 7, Infinite Tomb. Number 8, Axiom Proxy. Number 9, Prodigy PA3. Number 10, Latitude 64 Pure. Obviously, the infinite options are going to be in the infinite list.
Right.
But what do you make of the other putters up here in the top 10 for 2025? This is by sales.
Right.
Clear.
You know, Charlie, the thing that's interesting to me is actually the disc that is outside of this list, which is the Innova AVR, is all the way down to 17th, which is the top Innova putter. The Zone, the Wizard, like those are your, those are some like OGs, right? Like they have been around and they're hanging around.
They have stood the test of time.
What this list suggests to me, though, combination of the Pixel, the Luna, the Alpaca, and part of it. Well, I mean, a lot of these are just MVP, which is great. But I think that there is real marketing opportunity around putters, and they often will not market putters because they're base plastics for like tour series and stuff. But I think that there are real, like the Pixel and the Luna are the only two I can think of that are like, here are your player designed putting putters. And they are massively successful.
Massively
successful. In fact, I mean, I know the Zone's at the top here on Infinite, but if you probably looked at like full sales everywhere, I would be willing to bet that Pixel and Luna are probably at the top, or like of putting putters. Wizard, like I'd imagine, like I bet a lot of people are just buying them from Infinite, but I bet a lot of people buy Lunas from the Discraft store. But
you never really.
Who knows?
It's hard to assess those kind of things. I think like, the Luna went from 8 to 4 from 2024 to 2025, and
it's.
I'm sure if you go back to like 2021, it was probably number 1 for a little while. But it's interesting to see it move up. Why?
Yes.
AB.
Yeah.
And like Luna Battle Pass, like there's just been like Luna talk.
Yeah.
But like, what's Innova's got to be so salty, right?
Okay.
They're like, these are all
no.
AVRs.
Okay. No, they're not. I don't think Lunas or Pixels are.
I mean, fine, but like, Innova already has every flavor.
That is true. That is true.
Like you can get the comparable thing, but like that, I think that makes your point because it's about marketing. It's not about the actual putt. Like anybody can learn to putt with almost any type of. Like you might like a particular style. You like a flat top. You like an understable. You like an overstable. Whatever. You like it firm. You like it soft. Like you pick your category. And you can find a disc from pretty much every manufacturer that fits that slot for the most part.
Get Own to design a putter this year. Let her design
the dog.
Let her design the dog and sell that.
It would come on, the Innova dog, DAWG. I think, like, I know I'm joking a little bit, but call it whatever you want. It really makes sense.
Yes.
Like, and I know that like Own maybe isn't Calvin Heimberg, but people would definitely buy an Own putter.
Yes, they would. Like, go design that putter and sell that. Like, I think the putter market is an untapped market. I think the focus is on premium drivers.
The Upshot is starting a manufacturer. We will pick someone to actually make the discs for us. But we're calling Own, and we're going to make the Upshot dog.
Yes. Love it. All right, I think that's it for 30-second roll.
It's a little confusing that our brand is called Upshot because, like, no, you're supposed to put this.
It could be Inside the Circle.
Okay.
That'll be our brand.
The last thing I'll say on this: the top 9 discs from. Let me say this better. 9 of the top 10 discs from 2024 appeared again on the list in 2025. The only change was that the glitch dropped out of the top 10 and the proxy came into the top 10.
The glitch was always like a fad disc, like the catch disc. So it doesn't surprise me the glitch doesn't have quite the same staying power. Like I would expect the glitch to keep working down, but like an actual little bit more functional putter was going to be a little more.
Sure, of course. In the top 50, Discraft has 8 of the top 50 discs in the putter category. MVP 5, Discmania 5, Axiom 4, Infinite 4, Castoplast 3, and then Gateway, Prodigy, Latitude, Streamline, Dynamic, ThoughtSpace, Innova, Westside all have 2. Are you surprised the Innova only with 2?
What an L.
They are blundering, right? L. Like that's just like what are they doing? And like Infinite is like been an Innova like hotbed. I mean, Innova makes the
Infinite disc. Yes.
Infinite disc.
Yes.
Like I just so to some extent you could count the Infinite towards the Innova count, I suppose.
No, well, but again, this is from Infinite's website, so like
right and right.
Is the alpaca
I just feel like it's a huge missed opportunity to start marketing specific discs a little bit better.
I agree. Or designing a new one. And I will make my quick plug. If you don't have a tomb in your bag, go get one in your bag. I just switched out a buzz for another tomb. I went from 2 buzzes, 2 tombs to 3 tombs and 1 buzz. Yeah.
How about that?
Tombs, man. They're the best.
You've been a tomb guy for a while.
Jeez, like pre-COVID.
What is it? 3401? Feels a little slower than a buzz.
They go as far. I throw my tombs. I think I get my buzzes like 20 feet further, maybe 15 feet further, but I just have so much control over my tombs. I love them.
All right.
Speaking of white discs that look like trash, you should see my old one. Like it is.
It's totally beater.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's
super flippy.
Almost 2. Like I can't. The reason I hit 3 now is because I can't take it out of my bag, but I put a new D line in there because my old one is getting too flippy.
All right. Let's see. What is it? Today's the 14th. We're done for the week. Make sure you sign up for an Ultra World Disc Golf subscription. Join the Discord where we do our live sub bonuses, and it's called Inside the Circle. We'll be getting to one of those in a day or two here. And then we'll be back with you next week. We've got lots more off-season to come. Let us know if there's anything you want to hear us talk about. I know one thing that is on our radar that we haven't had time for yet is a kind of a deeper dive into the 2025 fandom survey as the data continues to roll out there. Next week, likely when we will do that, unless there's pressing news to discuss. So stay tuned, and looking forward to chatting with everybody more as we head into this 2026 season. For Josh Mansfield, I'm Charlie Eisenhood saying so long, and we will talk to you next week right here on The Upshot.